So often on the show, we talk about the Tesla battery pack in South Australia, the very large, the largest battery pack in the world. But not so often do we talk about smaller power packs. Specifically, this one that is at the University of Queensland, Brisbane. It is a 1.1 megawatt pack, or 2.15 megawatt hours of energy storage, and it has saved the school $74,000 Australian in 1 quarter.
Wait, so in 3 months it saved that much money?
In 3 months of its operation, it has saved the school $74,000.
How's that possible? Do people come by and just stick dollars to it?
No. I mean, so obviously on the show we've talked before, especially when we're talking bidirectional charging, it's just a big bidirectional battery that you hook up to the grid. So you might be thinking that, okay, what it's going to be doing is buying and selling energy. So it buys energy when it's cheap and it sells it when it's expensive. And it does do that, but 62% of that $74,000 came from frequency control ancillary services, or FCAS.
What is that?
That essentially means that it's helping to stabilize the grid. So FCAS providers are paid for every interval in which they are available to respond to a frequency event. So, for example, there was a coal plant that went offline, and the Powerpack was able to stabilize the grid.
Oh, is that what we're looking at here in this graph?
Yeah, so you'll notice that squiggly line, the purple one, that is the grid's frequency. So
in Australia, it's 50 hertz.
50 hertz. In the United States, it's 60 hertz.
Okay.
And basically, if the hertz starts to go lower, then you have less actual energy in the lines. And the reason for that big drop-off there was basically a coal plant tripped offline, as they often do, and the Powerpack was able to instantly kick into action and help to stabilize the power generation.
Interesting. And it gets paid for that.
It gets paid for that. It gets paid a pretty penny. But that's not to say that it wasn't also good at buying and selling power. So let's take a look at this first graph here.
Okay. Ooh, this is complicated.
It gets a little complicated. Let's just kind of explain. So the line that you're seeing, the line graph that's going across the screen, that's the price of energy, and that is dollars per megawatt hour.
Okay.
And so...
Oh, and this is over the course of a day.
Over the course of a day.
Okay.
And the bars that you're seeing is the charging and discharging of the battery.
Okay, so red is when they're charging up the battery and paying for electricity, and purple is when they're selling electricity.
And discharging the battery.
But this graph can't be right, Jesse. This graph has to be wrong, because it says that around 2:30 in the afternoon, they were buying power for $52 per megawatt hour, but then right after that, around 3 o'clock, they were selling it for $2,000 per megawatt hour.
That's absolutely correct. And in fact, the graph is logarithmic. So
it should be way up here.
It should be way up there. It's just, it wouldn't even make any sense. It wouldn't look like anything because...
so they're buying it for relatively cheap and then selling it for astronomically high?
Yeah. So essentially, you can kind of think of this as like a stock trader, for example. If, for example, let's just say Tesla was at $50 a share.
Yeah, buy.
And you were buying up shares.
Buy.
And then Tesla shot up to $2,000 a share.
Sell.
And you start selling. This is what it's doing over the course of a day. So this is a day trader.
Every day it's day trading like this?
A day trader of energy.
Oh, so that's how it made so much money.
That wasn't even a majority of the money that it made.
Wow.
That's how it was able to make so much money. So here's another example, right? It starts discharging the pack, right? Selling for a relatively low price of energy. Okay. And you might be saying, why are you selling for a low price of energy? It's because it predicted that the price of energy would go negative.
Yeah, look at this. Right around 9 o'clock in the morning, the price went down to negative $64 a megawatt hour.
So it was getting paid to give energy to the grid in the wee hours of the morning.
So it's basically emptying its battery out so it could buy all that cheap power.
And it was making money while emptying out the battery. Then, when the price of energy went negative, it bought energy for negative money, so it was making money. It got paid on both ends of the spectrum there.
What?
So that is the strength of bidirectional grid-tied battery storage.
Wow.
And that is something that utilities, up until this point, simply have not had. They have not been able to store energy, right?
If you're watching the story right now and you're like, I want to get in on this game, I want to put some solar on my roof, and I want to start getting free energy from the sun, You can. It's not like a Ponzi scheme. It's actually just every morning the sun wakes up and it's like, here you go, world. Call the folks at EnergyPal and they will help you walk through this because it can be a little complicated and daunting. But the geeks at EnergyPal know all this stuff and it's free. They just help you figure this out and they get paid from the installer side. So it doesn't come out of your pocket at all. We love working with them and a lot of other people do. So give them a call.
It's really important to get this information out and you are vital to doing that.
When people hear about information from someone they know and trust,
That's you.
they are much more likely to listen and act.
So share this clip with someone you know today.
You'll feel good knowing you made a difference. Now you know.